Well, guys, it's June. You know what that means? AEW Fight Forever is finally making its way to all platforms and all consoles.
Are you guys excited? I definitely am. I've been waiting ever since it was announced and talked about. Yay.
So during the event of Double or Nothing, AEW Games, THQ Nordic, and Ukes flew out a bunch of content creators as well as IGN, Dank Ops, BDE, New Legacy, and a bunch of other content creators as well as several wrestlers to try out AEW Fight Forever for themselves and get their chance to actually play the game. Some of the content included certain members of the roster being revealed, including guys like Ricky Starks, Pac. There were even clips of guys like Andrade, Brody Lee, Chuck Taylor, even little previews of characters like CM Punk again, Cody, Christian Cage, several previews of characters that haven't officially been revealed yet, but we now know that they're in the game. But this video is once again about my final thoughts on AEW Fight Forever before the game is out. So what are my thoughts? They're exactly the same. I think this game is looking good. I feel like it's going to be good. Nothing has changed. So I can just end the video here. Bye.
Okay, fine. I'll talk about some of the stuff that was revealed.
So along with some of the things that we already knew about the game, like the certain match types and the fact that we are getting an official career/season mode with this game called Road to Elite, we also got the confirmation of what exactly the pre-order bonus is going to be. And the pre-order bonus is, of course, Matt Hardy and Broken Matt Hardy. I don't know what it is, but I feel like this was somewhat of a weird choice to pick for a pre-order bonus. You would expect Matt Hardy to be on the roster itself and not just DLC, but it's whatever. I'm not mad about it. It's cool. It's fine, but I feel like there could have been somebody else, but then again, I don't know exactly who else there could have been, but that's not the point. Now, one of the biggest concerns that a lot of people had when it came to AEW Fight Forever was the missing inclusions of guys like Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Well, apparently these two are actually going to be DLC for the game, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a negative, but because at least they're still being included in the game. It's just you're gonna have to wait at least a day. At least that's according to what's on the Nintendo Switch version of the game. I forgot to mention this, but AEW Fight Forever is going to have two different versions of the game that's available to purchase. There's the standard version and then there's the Elite version. What comes with the Elite version is essentially the pre-order bonus as well as the DLC characters. The DLC characters include the following: Cash Wheeler, Danhausen, Dax Harwood, Hook, Keith Lee, and the Bunny. The arenas that we see currently in the game, I'm saying currently because I don't know if they're going to be adding any more in the future, at the moment include a total of 7 different arenas. This includes AEW Dynamite, AEW Dark, All Out, Full Gear, Revolution, Double or Nothing, and AEW Rampage. Now, back to the gameplay. When it comes to the gameplay itself, there's just so many small things that I just love about it, including things such as audio or just minor things when it comes to certain animations. It just makes me like the game even more. Like, for example, during the gameplay clip that's shown by IGN of Jade Cargill versus MJF, you could audibly hear MJF saying, whoa, stop it, let me go, all this other stuff. Not only that, but if he gets slammed a certain way, he'll make a certain yelling sound, which to me is clearly just unique to that character, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. And not only that, but certain characters just have their own unique animations when it comes to just doing things like evading certain moves. Like, certain wrestlers will do cartwheels, certain wrestlers will just like back up or do something like that. And another example once again goes back to MJF just putting his hands up, going on one knee, and then when he's ready to strike, he'll just hit you immediately. It's just something about these animations that make every single character in this game feel different, and that's something that's been missing in like a bunch of wrestling games for a while now. A lot of the time nowadays when you try to play a modern day wrestling game, and not one that I'm going to mention in this video because I don't want people to try to assume that I'm a hater of a certain franchise that doesn't really do that much. One of the major problems with those sort of games is that a lot of the time every character just feels and plays exactly the same. These minor things in this game actually help make it feel like it's better, and when you play as these characters and you do this sort of stuff in the game, it makes you actually feel like you're playing as that character. I can't do that in other wrestling franchises that I will not name in this video, but that's my point. In Road to Elite, the story is specifically based off of year 1 of All Elite Wrestling. Tony Khan just started the company in this perspective of this specific story. You receive a voicemail from Tony Khan, and he calls to let you know that he wants you to be one of the main participants in the Casino Battle Royale. You participate in the Double or Nothing press conference, and depending on whether or not you win or lose the Casino Battle Royale, the story might change for you. And that's one of the things that actually is interesting about this game, is that the game does have branching storylines. So you can win one match, you get a brand new story. You lose a match, it's a completely different story, and it's not just a straight, narrow, linear path when it comes to how the story and the outcome of the game goes, which to me, that's good. I feel like that's a thing that should be favorable when it comes to modes like a season mode, for example. You want that replayability, you want branching storylines, you want to have a different experience every single time, whether you win or whether you lose. That's something that's good. You want to see stuff like that. Road to Elite will also feature a stat tracker, so that way you can know what your wins and your losses look like, how many championships you have, what your average match score is, and how much you've received an A, a B, or a C grade when it comes to each and every single match, how many matches you've won on shows like Dark, Dynamite, Rampage, pay-per-views, how many workouts you've done. You like to see stuff like that, so that way you can keep track of all of your stuff, which is, once again, good. Now, one of the things I talked about in my achievements video is the things that you can do inside of Road to Elite, such as working out, going out for dinner, and just traveling and all that sorts of stuff. This is the sort of thing that the UFC games do, except this is done in a way that isn't kind of how I expected. Now, let me explain exactly what turns are. Turns are basically the option for you to do various different things in the career mode itself. These things include things such as working out, dining, going out and either sightseeing, doing meet and greets, or just playing through mini games. So it's not something that's required to do in the game, but doing so in Fight Forever when it comes to just playing mini games can actually earn you extra cash. So if you want to like make a little bit of money on the side so you can do upgrades and all this other stuff, you can play through either mini games or just doing meet and greets when it comes to like trying to keep your energy and making sure that you're actually doing okay when it comes to your health, so that way you're not injured. This is the stuff that you can do. So in a way, it kind of reminds me of how the UFC games do it, but each and every time you do one of these sort of things, except for the minigame portions from what I've seen so far, each and every one of these, unfortunately, is just a cutscene. So working out is just a cutscene. Sightseeing, obviously, is just a cutscene. Meet and greets, once again, just a cutscene. Eating is just a cutscene. I think the only thing that isn't just a cutscene is probably the mini games, and we haven't seen what those look like except for the one in the trailer with Britt Baker and everything, but that's really about it. Once you've completed all your turns, you basically appear on the next episode of AEW Dynamite. But yeah, thanks to Chris Danker, that's basically all that we know when it comes to Road to Elite. But I didn't get to talk about this really quick. A shout out to Mocho T, because now we know that there's multiple things included in the AEW games shop. This includes the likes of things such as entrances, alternate attires, attire pieces for your created wrestler, and I think items for creating arena. We already know that Fight Forever is a game that's intended to continuously be updated with new characters, new members of the roster, and various other things. I don't know if they're going to continue to add alternate attires to the game, because we do know that that's something that's already been confirmed for the game, because we're seeing it now on our screens. But I do hope that this is a path that they actually want to take, and if they want to continue to add alternate tires, then good. That's good. As long as they're not trying to purposefully sell us things like microtransactions and various other sorts of things that are clearly things that will actually piss off the community, then I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But yeah, until AEW Fight Forever is officially out, those are my final thoughts on AEW Fight Forever. We still don't know really that much about call mode, but we'll eventually see some at a later date. I don't know who's going to be posting it. I'm not one of the big content creators that's really close with everybody, so I'm hoping to see something, maybe, potentially. I don't know. But what are you guys' thoughts so far when it comes to all the stuff that we know now? Let me know down in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever the hell that is. Peace!